back to yet another live stream. It's a Wednesday, and we go live on Wednesdays. And today we are talking about why companies are still hiring junior developers. So we are going to wait for a little bit and first see if everything is working perfectly. So we are going to wait for a little bit. Great. And first see if everything is working perfectly. Okay, the audio is fine. The visuals are fine. I have my TikTok feed here. We look good on TikTok today. TikTok folks. Today we look really good, which is very exciting that we look this good on TikTok. I love TikTok. I love TikTok. We want the presidential because of TikTok. We're gonna do everything we can do to keep TikTok. I love TikTok. Who's that? Who can guess who that is? um, Welcome Zoho. Welcome Marcel. Welcome Chris. Welcome Tamani. Um, we're just gonna give it maybe 5 minutes. Again, do the mom test. Just 5 minutes. For Zoho, we were supposed to start at 7. Apologies for that. Zoho was just giving us a problem today. It's like Zoho did not want us to go live. This looks really good on TikTok. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stream to Melsoft Academy, and then I'm just worried. I don't know, guys. For anyone who has streamed on TikTok before using Restream, does it affect the number of people that actually come through to your stream? That's something that I'm still trying to figure out. Because I've seen that sometimes it can using Restream can make you get less people to come through to watch your stream. So I don't want that. But we are live on all the other channels. And if you've just joined us, you might want to skip 5 minutes into the future. If you're watching this on replay, you might want to skip this part. The devil is testing me today. The devil is testing me today. All right, guys. I think we're good to go. Welcome, Hilda. Welcome, Marcel. Welcome, Cholofelo. All right, guys. I think we're good to go. Welcome, Hilda. Welcome, Marcel. Welcome, Cholofelo. Okay, guys. So today we're doing a Q&A as always, but as always, we're just going to talk about what's happening in the tech space, give you guys a little bit of what's happening, update you on what are the new things to look out for if you're in the tech space, and what are the things that you need to know about. Then we can do a live Q&A. You can ask me any question and I will answer it, whether it's related to tech, whether it's related to entrepreneurship, whether it's related to Melsoft Academy and tech careers. Whatever question you have, I will answer it. Not because I am an expert, but because I know a lot. I know a lot of stuff. You know, it's good to admit that you know a lot of stuff when you read a lot. For someone like me, I am a workaholic and I read a lot. And that's why I was pulled to start a school, because I was like, I have all this knowledge in my head that could help other people and benefit other people. So let's start a school so that we can share the knowledge and make everyone in Africa get access to tech skills and improve their lives. Okay, so welcome, Zoho. You guys get number one priority. Hilda, Irfan, Marcel, Cholofelo. I'm not ashamed to say that you guys get first priority because you signed up to join this webinar. So, whatever question you guys have, I'm here to answer it. So, here is the article of the day that we are going through. We are a proudly South African institution with global reach. So we like to share news that's happening in South Africa because that's where we are, right? So I'm sure you guys can see my screen. This is an article from the 25th of September, 2025, released by these guys at iAfrica. So the article says, from hype to reality, how AI is reshaping junior tech jobs. So I understand that the majority of people that watch my stuff are people that are looking for entry level jobs, entry level positions. So you might be 18, 19, 20 years old, and you're doing a boot camp, or you're thinking of doing a boot camp, or you're doing a computer science degree, or you know, you're wondering, with AI, am I still in the right career path? Am I still doing the right thing? Because we are afraid that AI will take our jobs. So these guys at iAfrica have gone on to do the research for us. And let's hear what they have to say. Let's just go through the article, okay? If you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat before we open the general Q&A session. Okay, so here is the article, 6 minutes read. When Collective X released its Decoding ICT job demand report in August, so if you don't know what Collective X is, it's basically an organization where training companies, skills development providers like Melsoft Academy, like Within Code and the likes, we are all part of this organization called the Collective X, as well as employers and companies that hire tech talent. So we're always sharing ideas through meetings and stuff like that, right? So that's what Collective X is about. So they did a research, and their research revealed a digital economy both bursting with opportunity and strained by gaps. More than 118,000 digital roles remain unfilled, with 41,000 of those at junior level positions, perfectly suited for people keen to break into the tech sector. The question is whether we are preparing young South Africans with the right capabilities to seize these opportunities. So, Collective X has done a research. They've looked at companies and they've looked at institutions. They are the collective. They've done their research, they've collected their data, and they're saying there are more than 118,000 jobs that are unfilled, with 41,000 of those at junior level. So if you were wondering, as a junior, if there is a potential for you in tech, you can see that there are more than 41,000 jobs available. And that's why I always say getting a job is one of the easiest things in the world to do. Because here we are in South Africa, there are 41,000 of them available, and you just need one. Okay, let's go deeper. At our launch events in Joburg and Cape Town, one topic dominated every conversation: AI. Would AI eliminate entry-level roles before young people could benefit, or would it open entirely new pathways into digital work? It is a concern, especially for juniors, because some senior developers out there say ChatGPT is the best junior developer. I don't need to hire 3 or 4 young kids. I can just do it with AI. So it is a valid concern that entry level roles will be wiped out. Okay, so Brett Jones, co-founder of OfferZen. If you don't know OfferZen, it's the largest job platform for tech roles. So if you're looking for a job in tech, you need to sign yourself up to OfferZen because OfferZen is the only platform where you create a profile and then employers come and pitch themselves to you. Employers come and they make you offers and then they interview you. It's about the offer first. For those of you guys that complain, why do companies always try and hide the salary, yada 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 yada? OfferZen is the place where you can just go there, you sign up, and companies come to you with salary first, right? So they interviewed Brett Jones, co-founder of OfferZen, and this is what he had to say. We're in a huge hype bubble around AI, but at the same time, its future capabilities are massively underhyped. This apparent contradiction perfectly captures where we are right now. AI can feel like magic. Anyone can now write code, generate images, or draft reports, yet its failures are obvious, sometimes comical. Many professionals try it once, get mediocre results, and retreat to familiar methods. Because, I mean, AI has a lot of bugs. So, a lot of people are just not patient enough to their own detriment, really, because you need to be patient with this thing. Okay. Brett argues this is short sighted. So Brett agrees with Larry. Brett agrees with Larry, guys. We're living through the biggest technological revolution since the internet, and some would argue the biggest in human history. What sets it apart is speed. With connectivity and mobile phones already everywhere, AI adoption accelerates overnight. Okay, so let's just go into the juice of the article and where you guys really need to pay attention if you're a junior, because the Bible says that plans fail for a lack of counsel, right? But with many advisors they succeed. So here, all the leaders in tech education and tech recruitment, they're giving you some advice, so you need to pay attention to this part. What does AI mean for junior hiring? The pressing question for Collective X is whether AI is already closing doors for junior talent. Offerzen recently ran a survey of South African tech leaders, including CTOs, heads of engineering, and senior managers across the ecosystem. The survey received hundreds of responses and explored how AI is reshaping productivity and culture in software development. So here are some of the early findings. Only 1 in 5 leaders said they are hiring fewer juniors because of AI. That's great news for you as a junior to know that only 20% of leaders are not hiring juniors. Then almost half reported that AI has not reduced their junior hiring. So half of the companies are still operating in the same way. And then 30% remain uncertain. So there's a lot that I just said here. There's a lot going on where you don't need to worry because only 20% of companies are hiring fewer juniors. But then at the same time, a whole 30% are uncertain. A whole 30% are uncertain. So what should you do? What do you need to do so that you fall in the area where more people are getting hired? Let's go deeper. Brett thought the impact would be higher. The reality is that most companies don't have an AI strategy yet. Only 18% of companies have a formal plan, while the rest are still figuring it out as they go, essentially flying by the seat of their pants, even as leaders feel mounting pressure to prove business value. So AI is still very new. A lot of business leaders still don't know what to do with it. I get that. I personally fall on the 18% of companies that have a formal plan and that are implementing AI on a daily basis. It's the most incredible technology that I've personally seen in my life. And as an entrepreneur, I would be foolish to not take full advantage of AI. So if you're listening to this and you're an entrepreneur, you're a startup founder, this is your advantage because only 18% of companies have a plan, which means 82% of companies have nothing when it comes to AI. And between now and the time they get to fix their act, you have a chance to move really quickly and take full advantage. So Whether you're a startup founder or you're someone that's going to look for an IT job, you need to be heavily invested in AI, heavily invested in the technology, because as you can see, a lot of companies still don't know what to do with it yet. Okay. Then what are we saying? The feared exodus of junior opportunities, it seems, maybe overstated, at least for now. I like what he says when he says at least for now, because the story really is still unfolding. Juniors, you guys are still safe. If you're a junior listening to this, you're still safe in terms of AI taking away your job, as we can see, but things are going to change. So, what does young talent need to succeed? This is the final part, and then we're going to open up to do Q&A for anything related to what I'm talking about here. Juniors, this is what you need to do. What will it take for young South Africans? I like to just say young Africans because I would like to have a United States of Africa. I just look at us as one big home for us, right? What do young Africans need to do to thrive in this AI shaped job market? AI proficiency will soon be a baseline requirement across all digital roles. But technical fluency alone is not enough. Employers are looking for qualities like curiosity, tenacity, and clear communication. AI gives you a PhD in your pocket, but you still need the willingness to ask the right questions and use it effectively. So, in a world where AI generates content at speed, young people who experiment, iterate, and build usable solutions will stand out. There you go, guys. That's the juice that you needed to learn. Young people who experiment, iterate, and build usable solutions will stand out. And AI proficiency will soon be the baseline requirement across all digital roles. So, you've heard it, guys. If you want to survive in this era that we're walking into, you need to learn AI. You can't do without it. Don't think that it's optional. Don't think that, nah, man, that AI thing is not for me. I don't really like AI. I think it's going to take over the world and stuff like that. If you think like that, you're dead. If you think like that, you're dead. You're really dead. AI proficiency is going to become a baseline skill. Let's say you want to become a UI UX designer. You're going to need to know how to build prototypes and wireframes using AI. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not the only AI in the world, okay? There are other AIs as well, like Gamma or you know, the other guys, the other AIs. There's so many. There's so many. Basically, using AI tools is going to become a baseline requirement. You can't live without it. And then the soft skills. The soft skills are what will separate you, because now that everyone has a chat GPT in their pocket, if you have an idea to build something technically, we can all use Cursor, we can all use Windsurf, we can all use Claude Code or ChatGPT to build the tech for us. So, as a junior, what do you need to stand out? You need curiosity, always be willing to learn, always be willing to adapt, always be willing to, research what's the latest, what's going on, how can I become better, how can I improve? Curiosity. You need communication, because you might have the best idea, or you might know how to do something better than anyone else, but if you can't communicate that to the next person, if you can't communicate your ideas to the next person, guess what? You're going to die, because thanks to AI, everyone has the technical skills. Everyone can code now. Everyone can learn this stuff, right? And then what else do you need? You need resilience, because a lot of times that AI is not going to work the way you want it to work, or the job that you take might be harder than you think it's going to be. So you need resilience. You can't quit. when things get hard. You can't quit when things get difficult. You need to keep pushing. And then, last thing that I would personally recommend is you need to pick up the technical skills. Because as we read in this article, we saw that a very large majority of people that use AI use it once and then they experience bugs and issues with it and then they drop it and they don't use it again. So if you pick up technical skills and you actually know how to fix the bugs that the AI gives you, it puts you in a different group, in a different dimension where you can prompt, you get the framework, you get the product, the V0, it's working to some extent, but it still has bugs. But because you're technical, you can still fix the bugs and then you're fine. So this is the best time to live as a junior. Don't be worried about whether AI is going to take your job or not. AI is not going to take anyone's job yet. It's not going to take anyone's job, but very soon, everyone will be required to use AI. So you need to learn now. You need to pick it up now, whether it's through Melsoft or Coursera or Udemy or wherever. You need to pick up AI skills right now. That's what's important. And then after that, once you've picked up the AI skills, now that we assume, okay, everyone will have AI skills, now you need curiosity, you need tenacity, you need communication, you need leadership, you need hard work. You need to be able to, public speaking, go in front of a camera like this and talk and articulate your ideas clearly. This is what's going to make you stand out as a junior in this day and age. So, thank you so much, everybody. That was the first part of today's presentation or live stream. And now we're going to open up the floor. We're going to go full Q&A over the next maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes, depending on if there are any questions, because I think my presentation was extremely clear and straight to the point. But I do understand that there might be questions related to other things. So, first question from anonymous attendee number 1 on Zoho. If I completed a course at another academy, would it be possible if Melsoft could help me get a job? I've been job hunting for a while. Unfortunately, Melsoft Academy is not a recruitment agency. So our job really is not that. We are not the best company when it comes to recruitment because we're not a recruitment company. We're a training company. We're a training company that has links and access to recruiters. So we are not the best. My recommendation would be for you to go on jobjack.com. Jobjack.co.za. This would be where I would go if I were you. Jobjack.co.za. For those that don't know Jobjack, it was founded by Christian van der Burger, and it's a complete entry-level recruitment solution. This live stream is not sponsored by Jobjack. I must say that. Okay. But Jobjack is a platform that is made for juniors. So if you're an entry-level talent, you can sign up here on Jobjack, and there are jobs that they are posting that are made for entry level only. So this is where I would go. I would go to jobjack.co.za. But there is another company called JoBox. I'm going to open it up now. JoBox.com. Join JoBox.com. And they also are made for entry level. So if you're a student that's looking for a job, then you can check out joinjobox.com. You can sign yourself up here as a student, and they will give you access to entry level opportunities. Those are the two platforms that I recommend when you're looking for a job. However, I always say that the best way to look for a job as a junior is not through applying for jobs, but it's through building a strong and a solid network. It's all about who you know, baby. It's all about who you know. It's all about who you know in this game. This is Africa, guys. This is Africa. Okay? We've got to play the rules like we're in Africa. My dad has a saying that he likes to say a lot. When you're in Rome, you do what the Romans do. My friends, this is Africa. If you need a job in Africa, you need to know someone. That's just how it is. So take it upon yourself to build a strong network. Get to meet people, get to know people, then ask them for a job. We've just seen that there are 41,000 jobs open. 41,000 junior roles are open. We saw it on the article. But you will not see those 41,000 jobs on LinkedIn or PNet, on Indeed, or whatever the case may be. You will not find them there. But those jobs are hidden in networks. So, my friend, anonymous attendee number one, let's build a network, okay? Question number two from Tolofelo Tolo. When you end to get into machine learning engineering, do I necessarily have to start at data science or data analyst? What a good question. What a good question. So, you need data science if you want to do machine learning engineering, right? Because machine learning engineering is very, very technical. It's the that's the final boss game when it comes to AI. Everything is highly technical, highly mathematical. You're dealing with really, really, really large, big data sets that you can't analyze those data. You know, as a data analyst, you as the human being, you get your data, you clean your data, and then you start going through it with the human eye because you're analyzing with your eye. But for these really big data sets, you need code. You really need to write some code. So the best way to go about it certainly would be to do data science instead. But make sure that you're good at maths and make sure that you've got an appetite for learning how to code, because you will be required to write some code. Okay. Next question from Hilda. Oh, sorry. There's still another question from anonymous attendee. Is it possible to get into machine learning engineering? Is it possible if you could share your contact details? Yes, here are my contact details. But the best way is to send me an email, because WhatsApp can get crowded really quickly, but my emails are very clean. I used to be that kind of guy that has 2,000 unread emails, but then I just cleaned them, and now my email is the best place. The best way to reach me is via email because it's very clean in there. You are muted. Am I still muted? No. Okay. But you never reply to emails too. Please drop me an email, larry@melsoft.io. I have 9 emails in my inbox right now. The rest are cleared. Unless you were sending the emails to hello@melsoft, then I'm gonna check that and see. But for those that couldn't hear me when I was muted, I was saying that the best way to reach me is through email, because my emails are very clean. Her24, I do respond to emails. What are the 2 websites you mentioned? I mentioned Jobox and JobJack. Okay. Question from Lerato. Do the internships at Melsoft come with a stipend? Well, if you're working at Melsoft, yes, they do. But if you're a student of Melsoft that's, coming to Melsoft and then there's an internship at the end, it can be paid or unpaid. We've stopped guaranteeing paid internships because it's not possible. We can't guarantee a paid internship. It can be paid or unpaid. So really depends with you as an individual, because I always say this, but people don't like to listen and I don't get it. But really, the best way for you to get a job is not to wait for Melsoft Academy to get you one. It's really not the best way. The best way to get a job or an internship is by building your own network. Building your own network. We have classes on that. In fact, I think I'm going to do a webinar on networking. I think it's highly critical that I do a webinar on networking, especially now when it's event season. It's great. We have the IT Indaba next week on Wednesday. If you don't know what that is, it's an event where all the decision makers in IT gather in one place in Santon Convention Center from 9 o'clock to 5 p.m. for 8 full hours. All the decision makers in IT in South Africa will be in one place. And guess what? Guess how much it costs to attend that event? Nothing. It's absolutely free. And you go there, you just meet people, you talk to people, you build a network, you build a relationship, you get a job. You get a job that pays you way more than an internship placement can, because you build relationships. So I will create a course on how to network, or maybe I'll just do a video on what you need to do to grow a network. But yeah, the internships at Melsoft, some are paid, some are not paid. We can't guarantee paid internships because of just how many people we have at Melsoft. Um, and it really depends on you. You also need to be doing well in class. You need to be attending your lectures. You need to be having to maintain good relationships with your teachers, because that all counts. That all counts. It all counts. It all counts. Everything counts. Okay. Next question from Hilder, anonymous attendee, sorry. Are there any virtual tech events? There are always virtual tech events, but I don't recommend virtual events for juniors. I highly don't recommend junior events unless you just want to learn a few things or two. But when it comes to networking, I recommend you to go and meet the people in person. There's just something about shaking someone's hand. There's just something about making eye contact with someone. There's just something about building relationships in person. You know, there's a reason why when COVID happened back in the day, I hope my video doesn't get censored, but if they do, I don't care. But there was a time when we went through that pandemic where people were locked into their homes and the rates of loneliness related suicide went to an absurd number because people were lonely. You could call someone virtually, you could video call someone, but we are human beings. We need to connect physically. So I wouldn't recommend you to build a networking strategy centered around virtual events unless your strategy is you go on a virtual event, you meet somebody, and then you set up some time to meet in person. In person, you can't beat in person. You can't beat flesh to flesh, skin to skin, eye to eye. It's the fastest way to build a relationship. It's the fastest way to get people to trust you. So please make sure that you get out of your house, put on some nice clothes, and go and talk to people. IT Indaba next week from 9 to 5. All the CIOs, all the CTOs, everyone who's someone will be there. But there are also other events that are taking place, like the South African Future Trust Summit, the HR Indaba, where all the hiring managers and the recruiters will be there. There's just a lot of events, guys. So you guys don't have a lack of events to go to. There's just so many. Okay. Next question from B Goggy 75 on TikTok. What are your thoughts about someone who hasn't done a tech related course but doing tech by boot camps? So that was me, brother or sister. B Goggy, brother. That was me. I did supply chain management, which is a logistics slash procurement degree, very business oriented. That was my course. That was non-tech related at all. But then I did boot camps. I went to a boot camp. For those of you guys that know me, you guys know what the boot camp I went to, right? I went to a boot camp, and now 5 years later, I'm in the field. I'm also running a boot camp. I've done projects. I've worked for companies. I've done everything that someone can do in tech. So it is possible to get into tech with a non-tech background. It is a little bit more difficult, of course, because naturally some companies will be looking at people that only have degrees. However, if you have a good character, good personality, you work hard, and you study your bootcamp well, and you're doing well there, then there's nothing you can't do. There are so many opportunities. We just saw 41,000 entry level opportunities are available as we speak. So the degrees and the universities, this is why I have a problem with people that say the degree is the only way to get into tech, or people that say there are only specific courses you can take to get into tech, because that is not true at all. Because if it were true, then companies wouldn't say we have 41,000 open jobs. Do you get what I'm saying? The institutions that are there are not enough. They're not enough because we're not training enough people. If the companies were coming and saying, hey, schools, hey, institutions, you guys are producing too many software developers, we actually don't need them anymore, then I'll say, okay, maybe we have too many boot camps or online courses. But from the look of things, 41,000 open jobs tells me that we don't have enough institutions, meaning no matter what method you use to get into tech, whether it's bootcamp, whether it's online course, whether it's Udemy, whatever method you use to get into tech, as long as you pick the skills, you're good. So you now need to select what works best for you. If you're someone that's a self-starter that doesn't need motivation, you don't need someone to tell you what to do, you can learn on your own. And when you get stuck, you can unstuck yourself, you can do research on your own, and you're disciplined, and you can go the full 6 months, 12 months without needing someone to push you. Then by all means, you can do it on Udemy, you can do it on Free Code Camp, you can do it on YouTube. You don't even need to pay anything, you can do it. But the statistics show us that only 5% of people can actually do that. So if you do fall in that category, then by all means, go for that route. However, if you need mentorship, let's say you fall and then you don't know where to do, you're stuck, you need someone to help you, to guide you, right? Number one. Number two, you need someone to show you the way, to show you the roadmap, to say, okay, we're going to learn A, then B, then C, then D, then E. This week we're doing this and this and this. I expect you to give me a report or to do a project or an assignment that you submit at this time. And then when you make that submission, then we've got the next section, right? That's the second thing. The third thing, if you prefer to be lectured to, where if you have a topic that you're learning, someone comes and then they present on their screen, they go through, they explain how the concept works. And then if you've got questions, you can ask questions and ask for help on a live call. So those three things that I mentioned, if that's how you want to learn, then I highly recommend you check out Melsoft Academy. That's the only school that I recommend you go to that offers you all those things that you wouldn't necessarily get if you wanted to go at it on your own. So, guys, get into tech, whether you do it through Melsoft or you do it through whatever institution that you like, that you prefer, that you found. Get into tech. This thing behind me called Africa is so big and it's filled with so many opportunities, and we need as many people getting into tech as possible. Okay, I want to go back onto the Q&A. All right. Seems like we've got questions on Hilda. How do I enroll for someone working a 9 to 5? How does it work? We have a part-time program, a part-time option where you can you can do the program after hours and on weekends. So just send us an email, hello@melsoftacademy.com, or drop me an email on that email that I shared, larry@melsoft.io. Okay. More questions. Please share the RSVP link for the IT Indaba. Um, I am not affiliated with IT Indaba in any way. So if you want, just go on Google and search for IT Indaba 2025. Let me do it on this. Let me do it quickly. Guys, I'm not sponsored by IT Indaba. So please don't think that I'm advertising for them because they ain't paying me to do this. But I will quickly share. So this is the event that I'm talking about, IT Indaba 2025. Um, 15 October. It's in 2 weeks in partnership with Ayoko, Makwa IT, and Sage. It is the first IT Indaba. They've never done it before. And it's taking place at the Santon Convention Center. There'll be 3,000 IT professionals there, guys. There'll be 100 world-class speakers as well as 75 companies that are exhibiting. Stay away from the companies that are exhibiting, okay? Because companies that are exhibiting are there to sell. They're selling. They're there to sell. So you really don't want to be wasting your time talking to companies that are exhibiting because they're trying to sell. They're not looking for to hire. These people here, these 3,000 IT professionals, this is where the juice really is for you. Speak to these people. These guys are busy. If you see someone that's sponsoring an event, like let's say Ayoko or Sage or Makwa or whatever the case may be, they're there to sell. They're looking to sell. They're not looking to hire. They don't care about your CV. They don't care about that. You want to reach the other people that are um in the field. However, guys, don't let me, I'm not God. So if you want to go and speak to the companies that are exhibiting and try your luck, then by all means, that's also a good way to get in. So look at the partners that are going to be there. We have Cassava Technologies, Strive Masiwa's company. We've got Harambi, we've got Lenovo, Gem, BDO. We've got Within Code, which I'm proud to say is now officially a Melsoft Academy partner. We are great friends. I mean, everyone who sees me on a live stream, I always talk about how Within Code is really a great institution. So we are now partnered with Within Code, and we co-deliver AI courses. The poster should be coming out tomorrow. But there are a lot of companies here. Also, we've got Intergrove, great company. We've got Just Solve, great company as well. A lot of IT companies will be at this event. So just make sure that you go there. If you want to sign up, where's the sign up link? Get a ticket. Oh, so here you go, guys. If you are an IT professional, you qualify for a free ticket. So, guys, you're all IT professionals, all of you, all 37 of you on TikTok, all um all of you on YouTube, all of you on LinkedIn, yada yada yada. You guys are all IT professionals. So just say yes, I am an IT professional. Continue. Don't say I'm a non-IT professional because then you'll have to pay. Okay, guys, don't do that. You guys are all IT professionals. Then you just put in your details here, and then you submit, and then you get a ticket, and then you're at the event. Don't say Larry didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't warn you that this is taking place. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Stop the screen share. Um, okay, next question is coming from Lerato. Does volunteering does volunteering play a role in terms of gaining experience while waiting for a company that pays very well? Now, this is one of the best questions that has been asked today. Does volunteering play a role in terms of gaining experience while waiting for a company that pays very well? What an incredible question. Now, what is volunteering? You already know volunteering is working for free. It's when you use your own time to do some work and you don't get paid for it. So, does it play a role in gaining experience? The answer is an absolute yes. Volunteering is critical. It's critical because it counts as experience. It counts on your CV as experience. If you spend 1 year working with people, building a product, an app, a website, or whatever the case may be, for free, and you actually deliver good results, you can count yourself as someone that has 1 year experience. So it matters. And it's really one of the most underrated hacks when it comes to getting a job. The problem with Gen Zs, and I will say this because I'm around Gen Zs every day, okay? Melsoft Academy, 140 Gen Zs every day that I interact with. Um, Melsoft team, mostly Gen Zs. My best friend, my brother, Gen Z. My wife, Gen Z. I know Gen Zs, basically. The problem with Gen Zs is that we have an entitled mentality because we grew up post apartheid, post the World War. We grew up, our parents worked hard for us, everything was given to us on a plate. That's us. We grew up, everything was given to us on a plate. So when we finish degrees or boot camps or whatever the case may be, we have this mentality of now you should give me a job. You should give me a job. And I want a job that pays me 20, 25, 30,000 rand a month. Or else I'm not going to take that job. They underpay me. They don't value me. Why are they offering me so little money? And then it's 3 months and you still haven't gotten a job. It's 6 months and you still don't have a job yet. It's been a year and you've been sitting at home. You don't have a job. And then someone comes to you and says, hey, you don't have any experience. I get that you've got a degree. How about you work on this project with me? I'll pay you 10% of whatever we make, or I'll pay you 1,000 rand. Nah, these people are undervaluing me. How can they make me such an offer? No, I'm not going to accept it. Okay, you're going to be hard to work with. You don't appreciate it. That's fine. They're going to move on to someone else who will take that offer. So the problem with Gen Zs is that we are way too entitled when it comes to jobs. So am I saying that you must work for free? I'm not saying you must work for free forever. But at the beginning of your career, when you are a nobody, and nobody is someone that doesn't have experience. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care if your grades were 12 A's and you are the brightest student and you won all these prizes. I don't care. You don't have experience. This is the tech industry. Experience is money. Experience is gold. I don't care about your marks. Have you done the work before? That's the question that people will ask you. So at that stage, you have to do whatever it takes. So, how do you volunteer smartly? This is how you should volunteer smartly so that you don't let people take advantage of you. Because there will be companies out there that will take advantage of the fact that, Mara, these kids don't have jobs, we can work with these kids. We don't have to pay them. There will be people out there that will take advantage of you. So, how do you protect yourself from being taken advantage of? This is what you do. Hello, sir. I am very interested in working at your company for free. Okay. I love what you guys are doing. I love what you've done. I want to work for free. I'm looking for work experience. Be clear, be open, be upfront. I'm looking for work experience. I want to build my portfolio and build my CV, and I'm willing to work for free in your company. Here are my skills. This is what I can do for you. I can take your business from this state to this state. I can build you a website. Let's say you're looking for a software development internship. I can build you a website for free. You don't have to pay me. Okay? That's what you say. And then they'll say, yeah, sure, let's do it. Go for it. Let's go for it. I promise you, if you reach out to 10 companies, 3 will probably say, let's do it. Okay. Then you pick your favorite one. Okay. Now you're working with these guys. Then you deliver that website. Now you've delivered the website before you ask for anything. Bang, here's their website. You've done it. After that, you then say to them, thank you so much, guys. It's been a pleasure working with you. I've got the experience that I was looking for, and I've now given you guys the website that you wanted, that we agreed on. Here you go. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure working with you. However, if you guys would like to continue working with me, I can also do EDFGH for you. But, to cover my costs, to cover my expenses, I'll be looking for a salary or something along the lines of 6 to 10,000 rand a month. I'm just giving you an example. Don't use that number, right? And then you laid on them. So you've done a good job. You've delivered on your first promise, and now you're saying, if you pay me this amount, I'm gonna do this for you. If you've done a good job, they're gonna take you up on your offer. They're gonna say, okay, sure, okay, let's do it. Let's go. Let's run it. Now you've got yourself a job. You got yourself a job. All you needed to do was work for free for like a month, and now you've got yourself a job. And then you do the same thing. You rinse and repeat at the same job. You smash your objectives again. And then after that, you're like, hey guys, you know what? I've been working here for 3 months now. Before I came, you guys didn't have this. Now you have this. Now you didn't have leads coming in on the website. Now you've got leads coming on the website. Yada, 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 yada. If you want me to do even more, I can definitely do more. This is what I can do. Pay me X amount. This is what I want. If they say no, then you can always look for another job. But because you've demonstrated value in the past, and now you know their systems, you know how they work, they're not going to want to lose you. They're going to want to keep you. And then you've got yourself a permanent job. So that's how you turn volunteering into a full-time job. Don't volunteer forever, because a lot of people are going to abuse you. Okay. There's a comment from Nostalgia which says, it's not entitlement. We won't allow ourselves to be taken advantage of. That's why I just gave you the roadmap to allow you to not be taken advantage of, because I do agree with you. There will be companies out there that will take advantage of you. I know that for a fact. So you need to find a balance where you still get your experience, where you work for free, okay? But then at the same time, you're not allowing yourself to be taken advantage of. If you go on the extreme of, I'm not gonna do any work for free because I don't want to be taken advantage of, then you're gonna be unemployed for a very long time, and you're gonna find it harder. Like, that's why I say getting a job easy. 1 week you should have a job. 1 week. If you want a job, 1 week you should have a job. But sometimes you might need to work for free at the beginning, or work for a little nyana, not that much. So don't be on the extreme. Don't be like, I'm gonna work for free. Then people are taking advantage of you. And then don't be on that other extreme of, I'm never gonna work for free. I don't want people to take advantage of me. Because then you're gonna be staying on the sidelines for a very long time when you could have been gaining work experience. I hope you guys are getting some value. If you are, please like the video on TikTok. Just drop me some likes. I would really appreciate that. If you haven't followed me yet, please do follow me, so that next time I go live again, the algorithm will tell you. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, I'm not going to say you're weird, because who watches a live stream on LinkedIn? But you are there. I love you all the same. I love you so much. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you are a very normal person because that's where we typically go for streams. Okay, we're doing a live Q&A. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and I'm gonna stick around until the questions dry out or until my voice runs out, whichever comes first. All right, we've got another question from Lerato. Lerato, I know you're a Melsoft student. I know you're a Melsoft because I've seen your name. I've seen your name. Just if I'm mistaken, tell me. I know Lerato Gambo. I have seen that name before. So internship at Melsoft requires someone to come, or most of them are remote. Most of them are remote. You don't have to come to. You don't have to be at Melsoft. You don't have to be on campus. Most of them are remote. Our vision is to become Africa's greatest tech school, and we will have physical locations across Africa: South Africa, Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya, Rwanda, Morocco. That's where we're going. That's where we're headed. But we understand that if we want to build Africa, we have to build it online. So we are an online first institution. We're remote first. We're very remote friendly. Internships can be done remotely. Most of our students, we've never met them in person. And we want to create the next pipeline for Africa, where as Africans, we can all huddle up together and build products for Africans and for the rest of the world so that we can export tech talent, we can export tech products to the rest of the world. So that's where we're taking this. And it's very much a remote friendly environment. Everything can be done online. Lerato, I know you're a Melsoft student. Please confirm with me before I go crazy, because I know you're a Melsoft student. I don't know if I've met you in person though. Lerato Gambo, I have read your name before. Okay, user 3850243329996. Be honest, do these boot camps just do basics or you go deeper? Okay, let's talk about curriculum in boot camps. So, guys, there are different types of boot camps. Okay, not all boot camps are the same. Not all boot camps are the same. People tend to group boot camps into one thing because we've had this idea of, okay, universities are like this, so colleges are like this, so boot camps are one thing. But the thing about boot camps is that not all boot camps are the same. Boot camps are private institutions that are created typically by founders. So it's someone that has an idea that says, I want to help Africa. I want to help my continent. I want to help my people. This is how I'm going to do it. So it's a form of an art. Not all boot camps are the same. We have boot camps that do programs that are 3 months long. We have boot camps that do 6-month programs. We have boot camps that do 1-year programs. We have boot camps that do 2-year programs. 2-year boot camps, they're there. Okay. Then we've got boot camps that don't offer you any sort of certification at all. All they give you is a certificate of completion, right? Then we have boot camps that give you QCTO accredited or SAQA accredited, NQF level 5 or NQF level 6 curriculum. Then we have boot camps that give you international certificates like CompTIA or like Cisco or like AWS. Then we have boot camps that give you university certificates. Boot camps that partner with universities where you finish this program and now you've got yourself a Stellenbosch university certificate. You've got yourself Dubai university certificate. So boot camps are different. Boot camps are way different. So to answer your question of, do these boot camps just do the basics or do you go deeper? Again, it depends on the boot camp that you pick. If you go for a 3-month boot camp, you really can't expect to go deep in 3 months, especially as a beginner, because what are you going to learn in 3 months? Let's say you want to do software development and then you've got 3 months. Okay, let's assume you're working 8 hours a day, um, and you're very hardworking and you're passionate. Okay, you're gonna need to learn front end, you need to learn back end, you need to learn databases, you need to learn APIs, you need to learn testing, you need to learn deployment. You can in no way, shape, or form learn all that in 3 months. I would even argue that you can't learn all that in 6 months. I don't think you can. We've tried it before. Okay. I don't think you can learn this stuff in 6 months as a beginner. The sweet spot, if you're a beginner, I would say if you want to go deep enough to get a job, the sweet spot for a beginner is between 6 to 12 months. I would budget maybe even 9 to 12 months as a beginner, because, guys, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Let me tell you my story. I got into tech in 4 months, 4 months without a tech degree. 4 months, I went to a boot camp. In 4 months, I had a job in tech. But I know that I'm not normal. I know that what I did is not what everyone else does. The average person, 4 months cannot do it, because for me, I was sick. Okay. I had a heartbreak, guys. I had a heartbreak. I was in pain, and I put all my effort, all my attention, everything into the boot camp. And I was obsessed. I would do 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. I would only take a day off. And then on the day off, I'm probably listening to podcasts on boot camps, on tech, and on software and all that. I was extremely obsessed, and I managed to do it in 4 months. So I don't recommend that you guys do what I did and stress yourself, because for my health, it really wasn't the best. For my mental health, my personal life, everything, it was just not the best experience, because I tried to compress everything and I managed to do it in 4 months. So if you really want to learn deep enough to be able to get you a job and you're a beginner, then I would say 12 months. If you really are patient and you see this as a long term career, then even 18 months. And a lot of people make this mistake of thinking that they can get in quickly. There are these adverts of these boot camps. I won't mention the names, but there are boot camps out there that advertise and say you can get a job in 3 months as a beginner with no experience. And that's obviously unrealistic. I don't know why people fall for that. That's obviously unrealistic. As a beginner, you can't do this in 3 months. I don't even think you can do it in 6 months. As much as I did it, but I was crazy, I was insane. I still wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't do it. So because now, like I said, people think all boot camps are the same. Then they say boot camps are scams, or boot camps, they don't really work. I mean, these boot camps, you see, they group us all into one category. But now you guys are educated. Now you guys know that not all boot camps are the same. So really spend time researching the right one that works for you. If you're a beginner, any boot camp that's advertising you can do it in 3 months, run away. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Okay, you need some time, and you also need to take care of your brain. Don't do something that will rush you too much and then affect your mental health, because then you will hate tech. You will hate it, and then you'll quit. If you're a beginner, 6 to 12 months. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Okay, we have another question from Zwain. Can you do everything online? This is from Zwain. And the answer, Mr. Zwain, is yes, you can do everything online. All right. Celestine, how can I get a job after studying with you in this AI era? I want to do IoT and AI. Okay, so I went on and I spoke about this at the beginning of the live stream. That's all we spoke about. So I assume that you just joined, or you joined recently. We spoke about how to get a job and the things that you need to focus on. So my recommendation for the benefit of those that have been here, like Hilda and Kutso and Marcel and Tolofelo, I would say after the stream, go onto my YouTube channel or go onto my Facebook account or my LinkedIn. This live stream will be there, and you can watch it at the beginning and learn how you can get a job and what you need to focus on in this era. Okay. Um, okay. Can you get a tech job with NQF level 6? Yes, you can. NQF 6 is a diploma, my friend. Diploma is diploma is big. Like you have to be able to get a job with a diploma. I'm planning to get into cybersecurity. What's your advice? My advice is to do it through Melsoft Academy. Don't do it through any other place. But if Melsoft Academy fees are too high, which is probably the biggest reason why you wouldn't choose Melsoft, then do some self learning on CompTIA. Do Security Plus. Do Network Plus. Do some ethical hacking on Try Hack Me, and just build discipline, because you're going to need to do this on your own, and you need to be disciplined if you're going to do this on your own. At least we help you. We kick you in the butt if you're not submitting your assignments on time. We'll kick you in the butt, so you know you have to do it, and then you end up succeeding and achieving your goals. Okay, question from Luyanda. Question from Luyanda. Tips on interviews as juniors, do's and don'ts. What a fantastic question, Luyanda. Brilliant. Brilliant question. Brilliant question from Luyanda, guys. Wow. Okay. Tips on interviews as juniors, do's and don'ts. I'm going to go straight into my head based on the fact that I hire juniors all the time and I help juniors get jobs. And Melsoft Academy is basically a playground for juniors to come get experience and then go and spread their wings all over the world. So, what are the do's on an interview for a junior? Do number one, make sure that you research that company thoroughly. Do not go to an interview without knowing what the company is all about. You will look bad. A lot of people make this mistake, guys. It's such a dumb mistake, right? Research the company. If, for example, you want to work at Sony, South Africa, or Sony UK, go onto their website, spend a good hour or two reading about the history of the company, reading about where the company comes from, who are the key people in the company, what's the recent news, what's going on, what are the opportunities, what are the threats. Do a thorough research on that company. Nowadays, it's easy because all you need to do is just go on ChatGPT, click the deep research feature, and say, hey, give me a research on Melsoft Academy. Oh, I said Sony. Give me a research on Sony. I'm interviewing there for a junior dev role. What do I need to know? Wait 5 minutes, wait 10 minutes, and then you get the full report. And then you just study that. It will set you way ahead of everyone else. So, do number one, make sure that you research the company thoroughly. Do number two, get there on time. And I know that it's like, everyone thinks that it's easy, but get there on time. It sends a great first impression when you get there 15 minutes before the call or before the meeting. Just get there on time. It shows that you're prepared. It shows that you value this opportunity a lot. Do number three, dress to kill. Dress to kill. I know, guys, these are the basics, but some people still mess this up. Dress to impress. My mentor always says that you only have 2 times to make a first impression. Firstly, it's how you look. How are you dressed like? If you're a man, you wear a suit. Maybe you wear a tie if you're comfortable with it, but you wear a suit with a jacket and with an executive shoe. If you're a lady, you wear the equivalent of that. So a lady's jacket, a lady's shoe, and it's clean. Doesn't have to be new. It just has to be clean and ironed, and you look presentable. Already, you're continuing to separate yourself, right? So you've got two times to make a first impression. First, it's how you look, and then secondly is what comes out of your mouth. So before you even say a word, people will judge you based on how you look. Okay. So that's do number three. And I'm just gonna keep pulling out of a whim. Do number four is be yourself. Be yourself. A lot of people try to fake their way into an interview, and then by trying to fake who you're not, sometimes you end up getting nervous or being shy. And don't be shy. Don't show nerves. Don't act as if, oh my goodness, this is the best opportunity. If I don't get this opportunity, yo, it's tough. No. You need to be calm. You need to be yourself. And as much as that company is interviewing you, you need to be also interviewing them, because it's one thing to get a job, but it's another thing to get a job in a company with a toxic environment. So you need to be looking, you need to be searching on red flags. Let's say the interview is at 1 o'clock, and then you get there at quarter to one, and then it's now quarter past one or half past one, and there's no one that's come to serve you. That's a red flag. Do you really want to work for a company that doesn't treat people well? You don't want to do that. So those are some of the small little things that I can give tips. Then in terms of don'ts, you can obviously just invert the stuff that I said. Okay, then you get your don'ts. But maybe the top don'ts that I see a lot of people make when they come into an interview: don't talk too much. When they ask you a question, don't ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble. No one likes that. Just go straight to the point. Straight to the point. Don't number two, when they ask you, do you have any questions for us? This is your opportunity to show them that you've done your research. When a company says, do you have any questions for us? Don't say, no, thank you, ma'am, or no, thank you, sir. I don't have any questions. See you tomorrow. You've got to ask them questions. You've got to show, hey, so on your website, I saw that you recently reappointed Mr. Johan Hopkins as the CEO. Could you please tell me what drove that decision and why? What are the qualities that Mr. Hopkins is looking for in his junior tech team? That question alone sets you apart, because you've shown me that, wow, you've done your research. If you can do this research for me, yeah, we're going to be in a good place to hire you. Okay. And then don't number three is don't not follow up. A lot of people make this mistake where they go for an interview, and then they do the interview, and then after that they just go home and they don't contact the company ever again. Big mistake. Big mistake, friends. Because when the interview is over, that's when it really begins. You need to be following up like a crazy person. Now, am I saying you need to send an email every single day asking how the interview went? No. But once every 2 weeks is the sweet spot. Once every week might seem a little bit pushy and you might feel a little bit desperate. But once every 2 weeks is a safe spot. So once every 2 weeks, you want to send a nice, kind, gentle reminder saying, hey, Sonny, it was really great interviewing you. Just curious to learn, where are we on the interview process? Is there anything that you need on my side? I'm really interested in the opportunity. Bang. 2 weeks pass by and there's nothing. Now you want to show them that, hey, I'm someone with, I've got value. Hey guys, really good chatting to you. I'm following up because last time I sent you an email, I didn't get a response. I am interviewing at other companies and I'm really interested in your company. I just want to find out if the opportunity is still available and you're considering me, right? And then after that, still no response. You want to send your third and final follow up and say, hey guys, I am really interested in in this job opportunity, and I did interview with you guys. I've now sent two emails without a response. I would like to know whether the opportunity is still available because I am in the market and I have other companies that I'm speaking to. Please let me know before Friday, end of day. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Send email. If they still don't respond to all those three emails, then move on. That's not a good company to work for. It's not a good company. If you're sending three emails that are thought out and are kind, and no one is responding to you, you don't want to work for that company. Run away from it. Go and look for another company. But do those things and you will stand out because no one does this. Nobody follows up. Nobody follows up. So by following up, you might not get that job that you want, but you are showing communication, you're showing professionalism. And the funny thing about this industry called tech is that you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's watching. Maybe that recruiter might say, you know what, Lerato, or Luyanda, who asked this question, you know what, this job you didn't qualify for, Luyanda. However, I know someone who's looking for someone like you. Maybe try this opportunity, and that would lead you to the job that you want because you showed curiosity, you showed professionalism, and you stood out from the rest of the people that just send a CV or come to an interview and just mess it up. So I hope that you got some value out of that. All right, I'm gonna go back to my friends over there at Zoho. Hilda, Kuto, Marcel, and Tolofelo. Still no questions from your side. That's good. Um, okay, let's go back. Lerato. I am a Melsofter. Oh yeah, I knew you were a Melsofter, Lerato. Um, how can I work outside the country like UK, US, etc? Okay. First of all, I want to say congratulations for thinking big because the world is more connected than ever before. And the best opportunities, unfortunately, you will find them outside of the African continent. So, how do you get these opportunities? Um, Ideally, you want to visit them if you can afford it and you have family or friends, then by all means, try and go there. Okay. Try and go to the UK, go to the US, spend like 2, 3 months there. um that's it. That's the best way, right? I'm gonna start with the best way, and then we're gonna go and talk about how you can actually do it if you can't go there. But if you can go there, by all means, fire up your private jet if you've got a private jet, or get your visa, go there, go, just go. Okay. But if you can't, let's say you can't and you're on a budget, okay, let's talk about it. How are you gonna get a job and work outside? The most important thing about remote work for UK and US companies is that you need to be good enough. You need to have the right skills. You need to have some experience because everyone in the world wants those opportunities. When you're talking about the United States, for example, the world's largest economy worth $28 trillion, that's where all the money is in the world. You can combine the whole entire African GDP. We've got 3 trillion in this big, beautiful African continent. We only have $3 trillion. America has 28 trillion. So that means everyone in China, in India, in Australia, in Brazil, in Nigeria, everyone wants to go to America or at least work for an American company wherever they are. So that means the competition is extremely stiff. So if you don't have the right skills yet and you're still a junior, you're still learning, then my recommendation is don't don't attack that market yet because it will be too competitive and you might be discouraged and you might quit thinking that tech is not for you when you just try to do something that's really really big too soon. Okay? So first get some experience, really build some products, get some knowledge under your belt and be the best you possibly can be. Okay, so now that you've got experience, how do you do it? There are so many ways to do it. You can go on a website called Upwork. Okay, I'm sure you guys know Upwork, but for those of you that don't know Upwork, I'm just going to talk about it for a minute. Again, this video is not sponsored by Upwork. I am not an Upwork affiliate. They don't pay me to do this. Um, However, I want to share it. I want to share it with you. This is just one. We're going to go through maybe 3 of these types of websites where you can start getting some experience in America. So, here you can sign yourself up as talent, and there's so many jobs that are available between development, design, AI, sales, and marketing, accounting, legal. There's so many jobs that are available. There are typically gigs that are like um maybe 1 month gig, a 2 month gig, a 3 month gig. Sometimes it can be a 6 month gig. Sometimes it can be a 1 year gig. It all depends, right? So you want to sign yourself up on this platform. There are other sites as well, like this one called freelancer.com. Again, this is not an advert for freelancer.com. I don't work with these guys. They don't pay me to say this, but you can check them out and sign yourself up here. Start freelancing, start getting a few, 1 or 2 clients in America, and then you start building your portfolio. Okay. So now you've got yourself 3 or 4 websites. What do you do next? Now, you want to reach out to certain companies that you want to work with. Okay. The best way to do that is to just create a list of American companies that you want to work with. Ideally, you want to work with companies that a certain size, right? So I'm going to show you what you can do. You go to this website called apollo.io. And then you create an account on Apollo. I'm gonna show you guys how it works. So I've got an account already. And then what it allows you to do is that you can search for different people in different companies. So let's say you go here where it says search for people, and then you look for the country that you want. Let's say location, you want people in America, so you say United States. Okay, and then you want to choose small companies, right? At this stage, you don't want companies that are, you don't want Google, for example, because you're trying to get a job. You're a nobody. You're a nobody. Let's be honest, guys. You're a nobody. No one knows you. You're not this hot shot that's coming from Stanford or from Harvard. You're practically a nobody. You're still trying to build your reputation on the international stage. So you want to look for companies that are not so big. So maybe you're 11 to 20 or you're 21 to 50, like I'm doing here on this filter. You don't want to do the 1 to 10 because the 1 to 10 guys typically are small businesses. They might not have enough money to hire you and stuff like that. Okay. Now, you're filtered to say 11 to 20, and they're in the United States. Again, United States is very broad. So it would make sense for you to also just target a specific state because America is really big. Maybe you only want to work with people in you want to avoid the big states. You want to avoid New York. You want to avoid San Francisco. You want to avoid Florida because these states, everyone is flocking to them. They've got all the GDPs. Everyone knows them. You want to go for the lesser known states. Maybe you're Minnesota. No disrespect to my friends in Minnesota. I love you guys. David, Paul, I love you guys. Minnesota. I love people in Minnesota. I love the state. I love what you guys are doing over there in Minnesota. But I mean, compared to New York, compared to Florida, it's not, it's not as big, right? So you want to look for states like Minnesota or maybe your how to say, maybe Arizona, those kind of states. Then you want to filter the industry. So you want tech companies. So you come here and then you just maybe you include keywords and say software development. Okay, so you want software development companies in these states, and then you want people that are working in a specific function. This is Apollo, guys. I say this job is not. I mean, this advert is not sponsored. They don't pay me to do this. Yes, Makwande, this is Apollo.io. I am not sponsored by Apollo. Okay, but this is what you do. Then you say you want um which job titles do you want? You want the founder. Okay, because remember we are targeting small companies with um 11 to 50 people. So typically, these companies don't have large HR departments, and the decision maker could be one guy. It could be one person who makes the decision. Okay, so you want the founder or a co-founder or the CEO. These are the kind of people that you want. So you really filter this as much as you can. Now, you want to narrow it as much as you can. As you can see here, we've got 25,000 people that can give you the job that you want. You might want to narrow. So that now depends on you. Let's say you narrow it further by removing the United States and then saying Minnesota. Let's say Minnesota, lovely state, love Minnesota. Um, Minnesota, United States, okay, or Minneapolis. Let's just say the city of Minneapolis, for example. Now you've got 155 people. So then what you do after that, you've got all these people's and all their emails are here. Okay, I wish I could blur this, but okay, I can't. But anyways, this data is publicly available. So all these people are there. And what you then do is you send them all emails and you advertise yourself. It's called cold emails, guys. They really, really work. They really, really work. If you want to go further, okay, let me start by explaining how you can do it. With Apollo, you can just say there's a way to say save the search. I'm looking for a way to save the search. Here we go. Save as new search. Then you'll say Minneapolis CEOs, right? Then you create the search, and then you can go on here where it says sequences, and then you say create a sequence. So a sequence is a series of automated emails, right? I'm just gonna say from scratch, just for the sake of this demo, and then say Minneapolis job search. This is how you look for a job, guys. It's very easy. Okay, and then you add your contacts. So on contacts, you can either add your own contacts or exit setup. We want to add that list that we saved. That would be the best. It would be the easiest way. I'm looking for a way to do that. I'm doing this on a live stream, guys. Please bear with me. This is to link a mailbox. So I'm trying to find a way to do it like this, or maybe let me go back to the search, and then, oh yeah, okay. So on your search, then you'll say create auto add to a sequence. Then you can add them to the sequence that you have made at the beginning. Where is it? Leave, create workflow, create from scratch, launch workflow. There must be at least one active alert. Yes. Okay. Play around with this software, guys. Play around with it. Okay. I haven't used Apollo in a while. I've been using something else lately. I've been using something called Lucia. I've been having great success with Lucia. It does the exact same thing. So then what you will do is you'll have this list of contacts, and then you can create email automations where you're like, hey, I'm looking for this. My name is this person. I've studied this. I've worked with these companies in America, and I can do A, B, C, D for your business. Would you be interested in hiring someone like me? And then Apollo will send that email to all these 155 people, and it will even customize it. And instead of saying something generic, it will say, hey Jim, or hey Rob. And then on company it can say, I saw you're working at Valari Solutions, or you're the founder of Build Labs, something like that. It will automate it for you, and then it will send these emails whilst you are sleeping. And the great thing about it is you can do it as a sequence. So you've got your first email, then after that, you've got your second email, your third email. You can even do up to 7 emails. And for the large majority, you can use this platform for free. You can do this absolutely free. Now, the problem that I have with many juniors is that I will tell them what to do, but they won't do it. I'll give you the secret sauce on how to get a job in America. Here it is. I've told you what to do. You can send 155 emails a day to people in Minneapolis, and someone will respond because you've demonstrated what you can do for them. You can even go on later if you want. If you are really desperate and you really want the job, you can search for this guy. I'm gonna search. I'm sorry, it sucks that I'm doing this on the live stream, right? But you can search this guy up, search up his name, and then go onto his LinkedIn, like what I'm doing now. You know, click on it, wait for it to load. Wait for it to load. When it wants to load, because always on a live stream do these platforms not want to load. And here he is, the same guy. Here he is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, United States of America. He is a founder. He is doing AI stuff and he's going to events. You can see all this data, all this information is there for you. He really is a founder. He's been working at this company for 14 years. If he hasn't responded to your automation, you can go onto LinkedIn and say, hey, Janahan, I've tried to reach out to you a couple of times on email. I don't know if you're getting my emails, yada, 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 yada. And then you say, I can do this for you. I can do this for you. When would be a good time to chat? I promise you, if you do this 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, in 2 weeks, you'll have a job in America. In 2 weeks, you'll have a job in America. It's that easy to get a job, guys. It's the easiest thing to do. And I've now told you how to do it. So, Larato, I hope this answers your question on how do you get to work outside the country, like UK, US. These guys will pay you using something like a Workday or a Gusto. There's so many ways that you can get paid straight into your South African bank account, as long as you do the job and you do it well. So I love your question. Aim high. Don't settle for less. And by all means, go for it. Okay. So I hope that answers your question on how to get a job in America. Makwande, thank you. I appreciate the comments. Great to hear that from you. Appreciate that a lot. You're doing a lot of great work on your LinkedIn. I am a huge fan of your work on LinkedIn. Please keep it up. Please keep pushing. You're doing some really good work. Thank you for the positive comment. I hope to connect with you and meet you sometime soon when you're in Joburg. When I'm also in Joburg. I'm currently in Joburg. Can you please save and post this part of the video on your profile? I will certainly do that. I'll put them up on my LinkedIn, on my YouTube channel. I guess this is the easiest way for me to create YouTube content also. All right, guys, we've been live for a good hour and 35 minutes. I'm going to take the last 3 questions and then we'll call it a night. I hope you guys are getting some value. Was planning on joining Melsoft. Yes, you should just join Melsoft. Just join it, guys. You get this kind of information every day if you're at Melsoft. As long as you're around me, if you've got like a personal issue, you can always reach out to me on Discord and I'll get back to you. So this is the kind of stuff that we offer at Melsoft, guys. When registering on the websites, won't they require experience? So I assume you're talking about, this is Kutso. I assume you're talking about Upwork and stuff like that. You know, they don't. So you can sign up there without experience, but obviously because you are competing for jobs with other people, some companies might pick people that have experience. So the tips to get hired on Upwork: always price low. Always price low. When they say this job is worth $200 on Upwork, go and bid and say, I will do it for $100. Okay. Why do you want to do that? Is because you want to stand out. So if you price low, they're going to notice you. And then after that, it's now a matter of what does your experience look like? And that's when those volunteering projects come into play, guys. You see why it's so important to volunteer and work for free at the beginning? That's where they come into play. Because now you can say, I did this for this website, I did it. They don't know that you did it for free. They don't know that. All they know is that you did work. You did work and you did some great work because you can show them the link to where you did the work. They don't know that you did it for free. Who knows that? Who's going to ask you? So that's when those volunteering and those free projects, that's where they come into play. Now they'll see, oh, okay, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that, and you're charging us half than what our budget was. Okay, let's do it. And you know the great thing about Upwork is that they've got what they call milestone based billing. So they'll say, do achieve this, then we'll pay you $100. Then achieve that, then we'll pay you another $100. And then it's like that, because that way you are protected. You don't have to do the whole project for free. You also get a deposit, you get an upfront payment, which allows you to start making some money. And now you're building up your portfolio. And on Upwork, the more you do good work, you get these badges called top rated badge or top rated plus and stuff like that. And then now companies will start to come to you. You don't have to apply for jobs anymore because they'll say, oh, wow, this guy is a rising star or this guy is a top rated plus. I need to hire this guy. And now you're building yourself a career on Upwork. There are people that have made millions of dollars on Upwork. Millions of dollars on Upwork. I'm not taking these numbers out of my head. I'm telling you because I hired on Upwork about 3 years ago before I started Melsoft Academy. Now I don't need to hire on Upwork because if I need a dev, I can just go into Melsoft Academy because I've got 140 of them, right? But before Melsoft Academy, I really hired a lot on Upwork. I've spent more than $10,000 on Upwork. So get that experience, be top rated on Upwork. Then now you start applying for, the method that I showed you on Apollo. You're sending 100, 200, 300 emails a day to American companies and you will have a job. This can take you maximum with you doing the work and you working for free, the whole shebang. Let's say you've done Melsoft and now you've got the skills. From you getting the skills to you landing your American job, it can take you between maybe 3 to 12 months at most. And then you'll be getting paid US dollars, also sitting in Cape Town or sitting in Joburg. Guys, it's possible. You just have to be willing to put in the work. Okay. Petronella, I haven't forgotten you. Let me just scroll up. When is the next intake at Melsoft? The next intake at Melsoft is in February. We are relaunching Melsoft Circle, which will be absolutely free. So I'll let you know. You'll see very soon on my profiles. But the next intake into Melsoft Academy is October. Sorry, it's February. Can you do cybersecurity with the math lit and computer application technology? The answer is yes. How long does it take to learn Python? It can take you between 3 to 12 months, depending on your experience. If you're already a programmer and you know how to build stuff, then it can take you maybe even a month to learn it. But if you're a brand new beginner, then it depends on a lot of things. So I would say 3 to 12 months. How to get funding for what exactly? You need to tell me. CPA, I love you. I love you too. I love you too, Nala. Curious why South Africa companies are ask for 5 years experience and skills resume. South African companies are very picky because they know that we have 58% youth unemployment. So they know that a lot of young people don't have jobs. And if you're on the other side of hiring in South Africa, let me tell you guys what it's like, because I hire a lot. Okay. Marcel, I'm gonna get to you just now. Okay. On the other side, as someone that hires a lot, when you post a job, you normally get 1,000 applicants for a junior dev position. So for them to make it easier for themselves, companies just say we need 5 years experience so that they can eliminate you, and then they don't have to read CVs of, because some people just apply without even any skills, without any experience. So companies just do that to eliminate. So if a company is asking for 5 years experience, don't even waste time. Don't apply. They've already disqualified you, and that's their loss. My friend, that's their loss. Okay. That's their loss. If a company wants 5 years experience, that's their loss. Because nowadays, if you can do the skill and you've got the work, you can do the work. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many years experience. Okay. So that's their loss. You just look for a company that doesn't need um that much experience. We need to know after signing up, do we get a job? I did mention how the job placement at Microsoft works. So you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to rewatch this live. It'll be on YouTube and on LinkedIn. You can rewatch it. Um, I want to go to Marcel's question. I was expecting parts of information about enrollment and fees. Okay, so a lot of the stuff is on the website. So maybe let's talk about the Melsoft Academy fees and then we wrap it up. I really don't like to talk about money. Psych. That's not true. I do love to talk about money because I am an entrepreneur. Okay. Um. Okay. Let's talk about fees and enrollment and how it works. So let's go into the nitty-gritties. If you've loved this live stream and you want to learn more, and you're like, okay, how can I get more of this Melsoft Academy? What is it all about? How do I enroll? How much does it cost? And stuff like that. Let's go straight into it right now. Okay, so these are our programs. So we've got accredited programs, which are your NQF level 5 programs, and we've got cybersecurity analyst NQF level 5. Remember what I was telling you guys about how boot camps are different? Not all boot camps are the same. Some boot camps don't have accreditation. We do. Okay. So we've got NQF level 5 certificate, which is a higher certificate. Then we've got software developer accreditation. We've got AI software developer accreditation. Then we've got data science practitioner certification. And then we also have design thinking practitioner, also known as UI UX design. So these are our accredited programs. And then we also have boot camps, okay, because accredited programs take 12 months, they're a bit long. For some people that already have degrees, even if you've got a degree in accounting, I would recommend you to just do a boot camp. Okay, no matter what degree you have, I would say rather go the boot camp route. Don't go the accredited program route. Accredited program is really for an absolute beginner who doesn't know much about tech at all. Okay, so let's talk about boot camps. Um, we've got software engineering, we've got data science, then we've got UI UX design, then we've got cybersecurity, and then we've got AI software engineering. Oh, okay. So these are the programs that we have, and all of them come with a guaranteed internship. The internship can be paid or unpaid, depending on you as a person. Okay. We also have Melsoft Circle, which I mentioned earlier. We are relaunching it. It's basically a free way to get started with Melsoft Academy. So maybe you're like, oh my goodness, these fees of Melsoft. Okay, we're gonna go into the fees just now. These fees are so high. We don't want you to just take the leap and start um and go into it and spend 60K without trying it out, right? You want to try out Melsoft Academy for free? That's fine. We've got the Melsoft Circle, which is a free platform. We are relaunching it. There'll be some courses in there that are free, and you'll get a taste of what Melsoft Academy has to offer before you can, decide whether or not you want to go through with Melsoft Circle. I mean, with Melsoft Academy. Okay, so let's go into the pricing. How much does Melsoft Academy cost, and what are the available payment options that you have? Now, guys, we cannot offer this for free. Okay, we're talking about SAQA accredited programs here. For accredited programs, um, the tuition fees is a once-off payment of just 60,000 rand. Okay. From time to time, we do have discounts if you decide to pay upfront. From time to time, you can get a good discount and pay upfront. Now, if you can't pay upfront, let's say you want to do installments. So you can do a 3-month installment at 20K per month, or a 6-month installment at 10K per month, or a 12-month installment at 5.5 per month, or 18-month installment at 3.7 per month, or a 24-month installment at 2.8 per month. Okay, these are the payment plans that we have. We make it as affordable as 2,875 rand per month. And if you still can't do this, then we have um, financing available with some of our student loan providers. So we've partnered with these 3 organizations, Nedbank, Manati, and Student Hero, and they provide access to student loans. So depending on your credit score, depending on um, your affordability criteria and all these things, they can offer you student loans that are very flexible, that you can afford to pay per month. So those are our programs. And if you really look at the return on investment of these programs, so let's say you do an accredited program. I'm going to go back to the pricing page of the accredited programs. Let's say you invest your 60K one upfront. Okay, what can you expect to get out of this? What can you expect to get out of this? If you do our 12-month program, when you're done, you will be eligible to get jobs or internships or entry-level positions that can pay you minimum 8K and it can go as high as 18K. We've seen people that go and get jobs for 18K, but the sweet spot is between maybe 10 to 12 to 14K and thereabouts. So that means after a year, you would have paid back your tuition fees already times two. Let's say you get a job for 10K. You've invested 60K with us, and you get your job, you start making your 10K. Within 6 months, you've paid back your tuition fees. You've paid them back. You've paid them back. You're working now. You still have a job. And most importantly, you still have your skills. And then the great thing about the tech industry is that with more experience, your earning potential significantly increases, especially if you target the American companies, like what Lerato was asking on the stream, which is why I really like that question on how can I work for American companies, right? When you start working for American companies, when you start working for UK companies, guys, this is $3,000. This is 3,000 US, 3.5 US. It's nothing compared to the money that you will make when you start working with these American companies. It's chump change. If you check, um let's say software developer salary in USA average. Okay, let's just check in USA what is the average entry level salary. They're saying here it's 98,000 to $104,000 per year. Entry level, 98 to 104,000. You invest $3,500, and in a year or two, you could be making 98 to $104,000 per year working remotely. Even if you are making 50,000 per year, even if you're making 30,000 per year, you're still making 10 times your investment every single year. And this will continue to compound and continue to grow as you get more and more and more and more experience. So it's really a no brainer. If you're serious about your career, if you know you're going to put in the work and you're not going to be lazy and you're not going to be a complainer and you're actually going to try, then it just doesn't make sense for you to not give this a shot. Why not give it a shot? Because you're going to pick up the skills. I've already given you guys a roadmap on how you can go from nothing to making $100,000 a year. I've just given you the roadmap. You work, you even without Melsoft, I've given you guys the roadmap. You do it for free. You do the courses, you get the skills, you do the work. After that, you volunteer for free. You now build yourself a portfolio. Then you go on Upwork. You undercut every person there. You charge nothing. You build up your Upwork portfolio. Now you've got a strong Upwork portfolio. You're top rated plus on Upwork. Now you reach out to people on Apollo. You reach out to people on LinkedIn. You get a job. 6 to 12 months, you can be earning these amounts because that's what they're paying there. Especially if you're coming from Africa, you'd be happy to be like, guys, I'll work for $50,000 because you're working here, you're staying here in South Africa, you're working remotely. So if you say 50,000 a year, what does that come down to? 50,000 a year would be around $5,000 a month, right? I'm not going to talk about taxes because you remember you still have to pay the taxman, right? But if you're earning gross 100,000 rand a month, guys, come on, and you're sitting here in South Africa, you're living life, you're happy, even if it's 60K, you're living life, you're happy. They are happy because they get to cut on costs, especially now that Donald Trump has put out this whole H-1B visa requirement for companies to say if you want to hire someone in America, you have to pay $100,000. A lot of companies are going to be turning to remote work because they don't want to pay that amount. So I hope that answers your question, Marcel. I hope you got the feedback that you were looking for in terms of enrollment and fees. So when it comes to enrollment, if you want to join Melsoft, applications are currently open and we are enrolling for the February intake. So we've got between now and February, and we're going for 100 students to start with us. We don't want more than 100 because we can't handle it. We've tried it before to say, okay, guys, let's go big and go 200 people. What ended up happening was that our students ended up feeling neglected. Our students ended up feeling they lost the community appeal of Melsoft Academy. So we are sticking, our maximum is 100 people. Once we close our 100 people, we're going to say, thank you so much. You're going to have to wait until April, which is our next intake. We're going to do the same thing, take the first 100 to come in, and then 100 and 100. In South Africa, we want to do 400 learners per year. That's what we wanna currently do for 2025. So you've got to move quickly because the spots do fill up. This is not some fake scarcity tactic. This is a reality. We can only handle 400 people per year. And that's where we're gonna get stuck in. On Mercer Circle, we can have unlimited number. That's why it's free. But the personal attention, the guaranteed internship, the one-on-one mentorship, we can only handle 100 people per cohort, which is 400 people per year. Okay. Tolofelo, how much of a difference would it be as a part-time student in terms of cost and duration? Would it still be a year or longer? It will be longer. For a part-time student, it'll take you about 18 months because you're working full-time. However, the cost is the same because the attention that you get is the same, the coursework is the same, everything is the same. Um, yeah, you don't get less because you're part-time. You get the same attention. You get your own dedicated mentor that you can book at any time. So the cost is the same. The duration is longer. So we don't penalize you. We're not going to say, okay, since the duration is going to be 18 months, you need to pay more. We're not going to do that. It will be the same in terms of cost. Okay. All right, guys. That brings us to the end of today's live stream. I had a lot of fun today with you guys. I really had a lot of fun. It's been just under 2 hours. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys got some value. I hope you guys learned a lot from this stream. I will cut a lot of stuff on this stream for the sake of YouTube. So if there are things that you want to learn that are not, I mean, it's a long stream, it's 2 hours. So if there are things that you want to learn, I will cut on YouTube and then I'll just say how to get a job in America, and then I'll make it a 10-minute video. How to do this, how to do that, and then I'll just cut them for you. So do follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on TikTok, just click on my link. You will see Larith Jimu YouTube channel. Please do subscribe. I want to get to 1 million followers. I want to get to 1 million subscribers. So that's my own selfish plug. But if you do subscribe and you do turn on notifications, then you will never, ever miss out. Can you imagine, guys, that there are people out there that missed out on this information that I shared today for free? Can you imagine that, guys? There are people out there that missed out on this information. There are people out there that don't even know about Upwork. There are people out there that don't even know about Apollo. They don't know about LinkedIn. They don't know anything. You now know. You now have an advantage because you were here. So if you don't want to miss out on more info, subscribe on my YouTube channel and I'll keep you plugged. If you haven't followed me on TikTok, then follow me on TikTok. But the most important thing is to subscribe on YouTube. If you want to join Melsoft, you know where to join Melsoft. You know how to do that. But thank you so much, guys. I love you so much. It was a great, great, great pleasure having this live stream. I had so much fun. I want to keep going, but I still have a business to run. I still have things to do. So until the next video, don't forget that God loves you. Don't forget that God loves you. Don't forget that the Holy Spirit is here, he is working, he is alive, he is on the earth, he is your helper. God has this name called Ebenezer. If you don't know what Ebenezer means, Ebenezer means my helper. So just imagine you have a divine helper. You have a spirit that helps you. You know, in this world we're living in, a lot of people ignorantly like to believe that God doesn't exist. Ignorantly. They like to think that God doesn't exist and everything is just, you need to work hard and there are no such things as spirits, which makes I don't know why I don't know, but those are your beliefs. You're an atheist, that's fine. There are people that believe that spirits don't exist, but sadly they are wrong. Spirits do exist. And if you want to succeed in life, you need a spirit to help you guys. I'm telling you guys this. You won't get this on many people's channels, but I will say it. If you want help on earth to succeed, you need the help of a spirit. You need a spirit to help you. You cannot do it with your own human knowledge because you are 18 years old, or you're 21, or you're 25, or you're 30. You don't know anything. Spirits have been alive since the beginning of time. They've been alive for 6,000 years. Spirits can move quickly. They can go from point A to point B. They can be in America now and be in Australia in a second. Spirits are supernatural. So you need a spirit to help you if you want to succeed. If you want to go at it without a spirit, you are going to get crushed. I'm telling you guys, you need a spirit to help you. Now, there are two types of spirits that can help you. This is the bonus section. If you want to log off, that's fine. But I'm telling you, this is the best part of the stream. Two types of spirits. We have evil spirits and we have the Holy Spirit. There is no in between. There is no in between. I don't care what you think. Okay? Go and do your research, guys. There are only two types of spirits. There are evil spirits, and then there's the Holy Spirit. So a lot of people tend to gravitate towards evil spirits. What are types of evil spirits? People that do yoga or meditation, or they go to those traditional healers that will say, I'll give you money, I'll give you a job, or people that go and even sell their souls to the devil for wealth, for a job, for a business to succeed. There are people that have sold their souls to succeed, to become music stars, to become soccer stars, to become entrepreneurs and raise hundreds of millions of dollars in venture capital. Some people have sold their souls. They've sold their souls to certain spirits so that they get that fame and that wealth. But then on the other side, there's Ebenezer. Ebenezer, the Holy Spirit. He helps you free of charge. He doesn't ask for your money. He doesn't ask for your blood. He asks for your life. He wants you to give him your whole life. And in return, he will give you your career. He will give you your job. He will give you peace. He will give you everything that you've wanted on this earth. But most importantly, Ebenezer will help you get eternal life. Because at the end of it all, you're going to die someday. You're going to go, you need to go somewhere. Are you going to go to heaven? Are you going to go to hell? You're going to need to go somewhere. Ebenezer will give you eternal life. So when you're picking your spirit to help you out, go and pick the Holy Spirit. Pick Ebenezer. I am where I am today because of Ebenezer. I would not be where I am without the Holy Spirit. So that's just my 2 cents, guys. Remember, religion is a personal thing. I like to share my faith openly. I'm not afraid of it. I understand people, we have different beliefs. Some people believe different things. That's fine. I love you still. I don't judge based on your beliefs. These are my beliefs. This is what I believe in. I believe in Ebenezer, the Holy Spirit. So thank you so much, guys. Did you say yoga and meditation falls under evil spirits? Yes, I did. Yes. Yes. Stay away from that stuff. If it's not in the Bible, don't do it. That is just my mantra. If it's not in the Bible, don't do it. If it's not in the Bible, don't do it. If you're meditating on the word of God, you're meditating on the word of God, you open a scripture and you read the scripture and you focus on it, and you bring that scripture in, and God keeps revealing himself to you through that spirit. I mean, through that verse, you're meditating on it. The Bible says that in Psalms 1 that blessed is he that meditates on the word of the Lord day and night. Whatever he does shall prosper. If you're meditating on the word of God day and night, whatever you do is going to prosper. So do that. But other types of meditations where they're like clear your mind or clear your brain and just focus on you and just focus on your breathing. Hey guys, if Jesus Christ didn't tell me to do it, I'm not gonna mess around and do it. Okay. I love you guys. See you again. Same time, same place next week. We do this every Wednesday. Check out the clips on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, you'll get the clips. I love you guys. See you